What's happening, Blades? How about that for a Boxing Day late Christmas present? Hope you've all had a nice Christmas, by the way, but I mean, unbelievable day. Couldn't have asked for any better results. Everything went our way, other than Burnley, but even then I think Burnley helps us. I put a tweet on saying we've got to remember that we don't have to finish above Burnley to get promoted. All we're bothered about is getting up. It'd be great to win the league, I'm not dismissing that, and hopefully once we're both over the line, if we get to that point and we can't get too ahead of ourselves, then we can chase for who finishes first. But that is a secondary, way further down the pecking order priority. Just get promoted and keep our prize assets together. I mean, a big thing for me is, and a lot of people are saying it online, the only people that can stop Sheffield United are Sheffield United, and that's true. And we've seen that. We have seen crumblings on the pitch in years gone by, but I think this squad are too good for that. I think the only way we're going to unravel this year, potentially, is next month, January. And for me, we can recover from any potential sales other than two players. I think Illiman and Dye is irreplaceable. And if we were to sell him this window, it'd be an absolute disaster and completely derail the promotion push. The other one I'm going to say, you might think I'm going to go Sander. I'm not, because for me, and this isn't a Sander bashing at all, because I think he's absolute quality when he wants to be. He's just too inconsistent for me. He can be the best player on the park and in this division when he turns up, because we've seen it, we've seen the quality, but it's maybe 1 in 5 games. He's too inconsistent. That don't mean I don't want him here. That I want to keep him, obviously. We want quality players, and I think he'll be one of those that actually performs better in Premier League than in the hard grind of the Championship, but we'd have to go up to see that. The other player I think is irreplaceable is Ollie Norwood. I think he's been absolutely immense this season. Another fantastic, the conductor as we're now calling him, but another fantastic performance of just controlling middle of the park. They tried to sit him out of the game at Coventry, and you know, he still comes up with the goods. That delivery for Clark's goal were just unbelievable, and we can't play without him. It's going under the radar a little bit. There is out of contract to end of season, and I get that we've got to know which division we're in for the budgets and things like that, but we have to rip up the game plan of how Sheffield United play and start again if he's not going to be part of this squad. So the old Rio Ferdinand, get the paper out, get the contract out, tell him to whatever figure he wants, get Ollie Norwood signed, because him and Ndiaye are irreplaceable in this squad. And as I say, I think it suits us that Burnley continue to play as well as we are. I don't think they're any better than us. Well, obviously we demolished them at home, but they are a very good side, but so are we. When you look at our team, as much as we're all Blades and we look for holes in everything, I think Wes has been a little bit shaky recently. Could have done better for Gyökeres header. Saw it late, but got an hand to it and could have kept it out. But also he saved a penalty. It's like me Billy Sharp criticism into it. You know, he's scoring goals, but I'm criticising him. So that's how we are as Blades. But I think it's striving for that perfection and you know, if we're going to go up, we can't afford to do these silly mistakes. Well, at the moment we can, because you know we're not playing great, and we're still getting results. And my dad's got a theory, and I think it proves true that we tend to play to the level of opposition against us. So you know, when we're coming up against Wiggins and Huddersfields, we're only doing just enough. But for me, those performances are second gear performances, and they have been. But come up against a Burnley or a West Brom at the Hawthorns with new manager bounce, we can turn up and turn them over. So I don't fear anyone in this division, and that includes Burnley. I'm not saying we won't hit them in a rich vein of form. Obviously Norwich have sacked their manager now, which might give them a bounce in terms of who they're bringing, but I think they're 12 points behind us, and there's 22 games to go. So I was looking at it, and 44 points is a 2-game average, obviously, which 2 points a game average, which every promotion team aims for. So it's 92 points across the season, which very rare teams get anywhere near to that. So if a team's going to hit promotion form, so Blackburn, who are closest to us, 8 points behind us, they'd need 44 points from the next 22 games if they're going to get anywhere near us. So that'd mean we need 36 points. Yeah, 36 points from, because at goal difference as well, from our next 22. So that's just over, that's much less than 2 points a game. It's just over 1.5 points a game. So we can afford to potentially win, lose, which we don't want to do, obviously, but it just shows how far in front we are, and that's Blackburn, who I think will fall off. Obviously, the points gap will be bigger between Watford, who I think we've still got to look out for, because they're finding some, although they lost home to Millwall, they're finding a little bit more consistency under Bilic. But João Pedro looks like he's out there, main man, which is, again, you don't like to see anybody injured, but it's good news for us. And Norwich, obviously, whoever they appoint, and it'll depend on who they appoint, because if they appoint Scott Parker, I'll laugh all the way to get into the Prem. But if they appoint, you know, a Dai Shaw, dare I say, a Chris Wilder, then I think they might be backing me a shout, but that's me. I'm mentioning him every video at the minute. Focus on us is the main message. If we focus on what we're doing, game at a time, we've got some winnable games coming up, some really winnable games, starting with this one at Blackpool. They're on a terrible run of form. Obviously, they were the 3-3 fiery game, and I think Jerry Yates is a danger player for us. We couldn't control him at all at Bramall Lane. We're missing Egan, which forces the debate about if Madine plays, is Clark better to go into the middle? And maybe does that then negate Anel's impact if he goes left centre half, or Bash? So Ecky's got a few decisions to make. I thought Max Lowe did fantastically well against Coventry, and obviously delighted for Doyle. I think McAtee's really coming into his own. We've just got an embarrassment of riches at the moment, and it's, again, trying to be pessimistic, but usually I'm pessimistic is what I'm trying to say, and I can't find many gaps in where we're playing at the moment. You know, I've seen some predicted teams online, and people are talking about, well, George Baldock could do a rest. Well, George Baldock's been brilliant for us, but we've got Jayden Bogle to come in if we feel like resting Baldock, and you think there's no drop in quality there at all. So it's fantastic options. The only place we're a little bit light is up front. So if we were to cash in on Sander, who I think is one of the more saleable assets, but also somebody that we could potentially afford to lose if we're given some funds just to strengthen a little bit, then we go for a striker. I'd love Gyökeres, but that is that's dream thinking, into it. You know, Gyökeres would really show intent and wouldn't cost as much as we get for Sandra, I wouldn't have thought. People saying go ask Man City how much they want for Tommy Doyle and McAtee. Both lads have said they want to play for City. I don't think either of them will make that level, unfortunately, but we've a chance, we've half a chance, certainly getting them back on loan again next season if we go up, if that's the route we choose to go down. But again, it's if we go up, we are Sheffield United, we don't do things the easy way, we don't get big leads and just sort of canter over the line. Obviously it happened in that League One season, but I've never seen it at this, second division up to the first or top division. So, but I think us and Burnley are being so close are making each other better. So long may it continue, and hopefully we pip them at final stages. But fair play to both sides. Both of us are playing some really good stuff, or certainly the consistency. I think with the standout two teams, which obviously the league table is showing. I think we'll be all right tomorrow night. I think we'll be okay. I fancy us 2-0. I think we get an early goal, and then Blackpool come on to us a little bit, and then we enjoy hitting him on counter and put him to bed. Hopefully, that's the plan. So let me know what you think. Will we get 3 points tomorrow? Would you be happy with a draw? I wouldn't personally. Run of form we're on and run of form they're on. Keep that gap ever increasing, or at least maintaining the 8 points. It's another game ticked off. Just keep building. Like and subscribe if you would, please. It's all much appreciated. Experienced a big bump last time. A big thanks to In Good Nick for retweeting and everybody else that likes and retweets. It's really appreciated. I'm only on Twitter, so I don't get to sort of share it on Facebook and other things like that, which would obviously help me. But you know, it is just for fun. But I really appreciate the support. It just allows me to rant and ramble like I am doing now. So I'll wrap that up and stop rambling, and hope we can get that 3 points to see off the year in fantastic fashion. And again, thanks for your support, and as always, up the blades.